London was the capital of the world's largest colonial empire and once ruled a quarter of the world's population. In London, royalty is everyone's constant priority. This weekend is the King's coronation, so we're in the swing of things with this group of girls from India. Bollywood in London. The main ingredient of London's madness is its diversity and cosmopolitan energy, and even the royal family seems to champion this model. London is the European capital of communitarianism. So it's normal to come across women dancing in saris. That's why Ansha did this choreography, to celebrate her adopted city's success in mixing people up.
The king is supporting the diversity, and we kind of express our support by doing this for him. When I walk on London streets, I see all the cultures from around the world, and that's the beauty of London.
Je pense que là, on est en plein dans Londres. Un peu de monarchie britannique et de nationalisme, un peu de communautarisme.
You think you know London? English taxis, big red buses, football teams, and tea time.
To tell you you've done something wrong would be a terrible breach of etiquette.
What's become of our neighbours since they left the European Union? We take you to see what's behind this very old postcard. The city's mad eccentricity continues to attract. London is as much a world city as it is a European capital. Say goodbye to the leather-bottomed bowler hat. Today it's all about Jamaican atmosphere. Hindu temples and Muslim festivals in the heart of the city.
I think this is how people find out about other cultures.
But London hasn't lost its traditions. Like the famous Royal Ascot horse race, which delights rich aristocrats as much as more humble underground commuters. Worlds mingling, but the capital remains the most unequal city in Europe. The most expensive houses in the world are snapped up, much to the delight of estate agent Daniel Daggers.
Okay, so this is Park Lane. This is one of the most expensive locations on the Monopoly board.
We'll see that in this Monopoly game there are also more deprived neighbourhoods, the home of a new musical genre, UK drill.
I pull up to France, they go see me, they say...
A dive into a whimsical London that makes us dream as much as it makes us question. London, in the middle of a small island, a very large capital, 10 times the size of Paris, and yet it has a population of 15 million. This is where 1/5 of the English live today.
Elle est immense cette ville. Je suis complètement perdue tout le temps. Bon, on va choper un taxi de toute façon. Hein. Thank you. Is it okay if we film you? Yeah. Thank you.
In the midst of all the hustle and bustle, the historic monuments are still alive. In Westminster, Charles III was recently crowned, just like William the Conqueror nearly 1,000 years ago. In the streets, the children all wear their uniforms. Even the layout of the city has not changed since the Middle Ages. What's unique for a major European city are the narrow streets where only taxi drivers can find their way.
Obviously, I've got a very big brain. Yes, you don't need any GPS. Black cab drivers don't need satellite navigation. The knowledge is an exam that you have to take, a test that you have to take to become a cab driver. And it can take anything from 2 years to maybe 3 or 4 years.
It can take 4 years?
It can take up to 4 years, even longer.
Paul had to memorise the names of 30,000 streets and 60,000 landmarks. The knowledge is considered to be the toughest test in the world for taxi drivers.
But the black cab drivers still have a notoriety worldwide, and people, tourists, still love black cabs. We still have lots of things in our favour.
This little secret cabin is one of them.
Oh, so this is a special place for the cabs?
Yes.
Tucked away in the middle of the traffic, these green shacks allow drivers to drink and eat in the warmth with each other during their break.
I'll just go and have a quick word with them, yeah?
On va aller dans l'antre secret des chauffeurs de taxi. Vous savez qu'il y a des maisons secrètes pour les chauffeurs de taxi, toi? Je vais dire bonjour.
These discreet cabins have been part of the landscape for a long time.
Ils appellent ça un abri pour les chauffeurs de taxi. En fait, c'est un truc qui existe depuis l'époque des calèches, quoi. When did it start? It's like in the 19th century?
1874.
Here, all Londoners can have their cup of tea or takeaway cakes. But getting in is a different story. Only a taxi driver with a number plate is allowed in.
Excellent. They won't come in, they're just going to stick the... Yeah, there you go.
It's like a secret society.
It's a secret society.
Hi, everyone.
A beer is out of the question during the service, though.
So there was this lord, Salisbury, who commissioned these to be built because he couldn't find a sober cab driver on a cold day. Do you know what I mean? So he commissioned these to have...
To keep the cab drivers out of the pub.
Keep them out of the pub. No gambling, no drinking.
In London, there are 13 cabins like this one. In this area of Notting Hill, Karen's the boss.
I'll get you some of the special bread pudding.
Yes!
Daughter and wife of cab drivers, she takes good care of her customers.
This is what makes you famous, Karen.
With inimitable desserts.
Tu vas voir. Franchement, c'est très bon.
Ah, c'est très bon?
Oui.
She won't tell me the exact recipe.
No. You know, the cinnamon and the fruit and the orange peel, that kind of thing.
Tu manges tout là?
Ouais, je mange tout. Quoi, y a un problème?
It's all making me hungry. It's lunchtime, so I ask Paul and his friends for recommendations.
C'est censé être le meilleur plat de Londres. Ça, là. Tu le vois ou pas?
It's called pie and mash, mashed potato and pie with parsley sauce.
But it doesn't look good at all.
Oh, it's fantastic. This is a parsley sauce, liquor sauce, and you get you can have sometimes.
Bye, guys.
Intrigued, I decide to try this traditional London working class dish at M. Manzi's, the specialist in the field.
Non, on va à la cuisine. Je crois pas qu'on soit sur une expérience plaisir, mais... Apparemment, c'était le plat qui faisait un malheur pendant la Deuxième Guerre mondiale. Et en fait, quand tu le vois, tu te dis, bah oui. Après, très très bizarre de continuer à le manger quand c'est pas la guerre. Très bizarre, je trouve. I'll try.
These days, you have to spend around £7 to taste it, and the craze is definitely there.
You all the time in front of the store?
Pretty much.
Okay.
On the menu, meat pie with parsley sauce.
Okay. Is it okay if I sit here? It's better than it looks.
Yeah.
But I haven't tried the side dish yet, jellied eel.
A lot of people like eels. They are quite popular.
Eels are one of the few fish that survived in the polluted water of the Thames, so during the rationing days, this jelly was a must.
Ah, petit morceau.
But today, it's hard to lie to you.
C'est immonde. Non, non, ça c'est... Je peux pas faire le truc de... Oh ça a pas l'air bon, mais en fait c'est délicieux.
English cuisine is not lacking in originality. Like everything else in London, in fact. Because that's a lesson you learn very quickly here. Anything goes. London is the epitome of eccentricity. London fashion, for example, is never too daring. Colourful rock punk with Vivienne Westwood or wildly free with John Galliano. If you want to discover this world, there's one place you can't miss in London. Central St Martin's School, considered to be the best fashion school in the world. Inside the huge building you enter a parallel world. Dancing. Theatre. Fashion shows.
Une fleur.
At St Martin's, freedom is the name of the game, and these students quickly get me into the swing of things.
What's your name?
I'm Murray.
Mary?
Nice to meet you.
I'm Tegan from Stevenage. Watch the space.
I'm Ivy from Canterbury. Also watch the space.
I'm Grace. Hello. We've already met.
They're all students in what looks like a giant fashion laboratory. And they're all hard at work. John Galliano, Alexander McQueen, the biggest names in British fashion came through here.
Is it a big work every morning to choose your clothes?
Half an hour.
Half an hour?
Really?
That's okay.
Sometimes I plan the night before.
Yeah.
Like what I want to wear. Today I didn't plan. This is why I look bad.
St Martin's has been a benchmark since it was founded in 1854. It's where fashion stars are born.
Tu penses que ça m'irait bien, ça? Je sais pas où tu mets le morceau de bois. C'est pas... tout ça n'a pas l'air très confortable, quand même.
All trades are explored: embroiderer, tailor, bootmaker, milliner, and of course, stylist.
Viens voir.
There's Grace, the young student from the entrance. In action.
Did we come? What? What are you doing?
I'm doing a fitting for my friend Cal.
Nice.
Oh, she can't bend over.
Because it'll be, a dress will go over it, but it's
Yes.
just to get the shape and support.
Cal, he's the superstar of CSM.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Grace is 19.
You're going to hear my hips click.
You might think she's a model, but she's actually finishing her first year in women's fashion design. Passionate about fashion, she's proud of her typically London style.
London, out of the 4 main fashion capitals, celebrates its freaks the best. I will always respect like formal tailoring and artisan work and like the old school methods, but it's also beautiful to have new energy and weirdness and queerness, and it has the most freedom, I think. I think New York...
What is it about New York?
It's just like, it's very ready to wear.
And to convince me, Grace takes me to her favourite district, Soho.
But right here, Rain Vintage, that's a gorgeous one for like lovely designer things. And then I've done a vintage just here. This is owned by 2 of my friends called Jamie and Dylan. Oh my goodness.
When she's not at school, she spends her time in second-hand shops looking for unique pieces. But before she became so original, the student experienced a very different side of London. Schools with uniforms, lessons in very British good manners, and strict traditions.
So the minute I left, I was so hungry to find my people. And that's why I've gravitated towards places like this, towards places like CSM, places that just celebrate difference.
When you see the British monarchy, would it be possible for a character like you and your friends to be part of the royal family?
I don't think anytime soon, because all of us are anti-royalist. I think we'd ruin quite a few things if we were given that opportunity.
I got what I need.
London is a city full of contradictions. It's the capital of originality and rebellion, but it's also an old monarchy firmly clinging to ancient traditions. Walking around the city, you quickly realise that traditions are everywhere and not just as distant memories.
Tous ces endroits sont encore des lieux de pouvoir. Et je pense qu'ici, c'est ici qu'il y a les lords qui rentrent. La chambre des lords, historiquement, c'était la chambre des aristocrates qui gouvernent.
Things have changed. Now anyone can become a member of the House of Lords.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Even women, like Baroness Hayter.
We work there. This is where we make laws. Every single law in this country is made in this place.
This building houses the Parliament, the House of Commons, where laws are made, and the House of Lords, which examines them, and where Diane Hayter works, a kind of old-fashioned English Senate.
In Parliament, we have, you mentioned the hereditaries, we have 90 men who inherited their title. We have most of us who were appointed, but we have 26 bishops.
And this never changed?
This never changed. We don't change things.
Because tradition is sacred here. For the Baroness, there is one of particular importance: tea time.
And that's Fortnum and Mason, so it's been here a long time.
Normalement, là, c'est une valeur sûre.
Fortnum and Mason is a 3-century-old company that supplies the royal family. This is the place to go for an old-fashioned, luxurious and, above all, hearty snack.
Shall I go here and you'll go around there? Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, first of all, it's a very serious meal. This is not just a quick snack.
OK.
This is a serious thing.
OK. Il y a 25 pages pour le menu du thé. Hein.
These things matter.
You look more serious when you talk about tea than when you talk about politics.
A serious matter, but also an opportunity to give me a lesson in English etiquette. Sharing tea with an English person is a test in coded language. It's called etiquette.
If you said something and I thought it was way off, I'd say, well, that's a very brave thing to say. And that's a way of saying you really are out of order. So that builds on the tradition of, well, that's very interesting. There might be another way of looking at it, or something like that.
Please tell me if I don't follow the...
No, but that would not be polite. For me to tell you you've done something wrong would be a terrible breach of etiquette.
Okay.
So I could never do that.
This is really hard to communicate.
Just when I think I've got it right, I'm immediately told off.
Yes, that's the most interesting thing to do with your coat.
Oh my God, what did I do?
Well, you probably should have handed it in to the...
Despite my clumsiness, this mid-afternoon meal is a real treat.
This is a lot of food.
You must start at the bottom. You must eat the sandwiches before the scones, before the cakes.
Can I eat with my fingers?
Definitely.
Okay.
It's called... They're called finger sandwiches.
C'est vrai que c'est agréable quand même.
And you put a little bit of clotted cream on top of the lemon curd. Now you try that.
This is excellent. This is amazing.
It's hard not to love this upmarket interlude, but it does come at a price, €90 per person for a full-course meal. But it's these old traditions that are winning over the world.
En fait, si Londres attire les plus grandes fortunes de la planète, c'est aussi parce que l'élite britannique fascine depuis toujours. Là, on est à Savile-Row. Savile-Row, c'est une petite rue de 270 mètres qui paye pas de mine, mais c'est ici qu'a été inventé le dandysme. C'est ici qu'on a inventé l'uniforme mondial du chic pour les hommes, les costumes. Et il y a des gens qui viennent du monde entier pour s'acheter des costumes sur mesure, faits ici, à Savile-Row.
The suit was invented in the 19th century in London by the father of dandyism, George Brummell. Since then, the city has remained the capital of masculine elegance, and some shops have kept their expertise intact, like Anderson and Shepherd, King Charles III's tailor. Entering here is like stepping back in time, with two keywords, elegance and discretion.
On a l'impression d'être dans un repère de luxe qui n'a pas changé depuis un siècle.
In fact, stars from all over the world were already flocking here in the last century.
Là, ils ont leur livre d'or avec les mesures de tout le monde. Gary Grant, Marlène Dietrich.
Years later, still without using a computer, Edward writes everything by hand. Because staying old school is what owner and director Anda Rowland wants.
So this is the cutting room.
Nice. Even your tools, they look so old.
Even the tools, yeah. Yeah.
How old is this one, would you say?
It could be as old as the shop.
Like 100 years?
Yeah.
120 years?
Yeah. And there, and on the other side. Yeah, a nice sharp edge, ready for drafting.
Nice.
In London, tailoring is a tradition handed down from father to son. And when you buy a suit, it's forever because you keep the pattern and you adapt it.
Customer who came here in 1983. Over the years, he's expanded a few times. It's gone from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4.
The standard price is £5,500, but the suits go up to £25,000 because Anda's customers need to dress up. There is no shortage of social events in London. The not-to-be-missed event is the Royal Ascot horse race, where the King wears Anderson and Shepherd suits.
I think certainly if you're thinking about going to Ascot, the hat is probably the most important part. And actually the best place to go for a hat in the whole of Britain is Lock & Co Hatters.
Can you take me there?
Absolutely, let's go.
In this area, you don't have to go far to find the best couture shops. Anda takes me to the oldest shop in London.
Hello.
This place is the World Temple of Hats.
I think I'm leaving you in the hands of the great expert.
Anda's expert hatter even has a secret room.
So this is our heritage room.
Because just like a suit, a hat has to be custom made. So here, the list of celebrities is rather original. An anthology of skull shapes.
Charlie Chaplin has a very weird head.
Yeah, little peanut head. Yeah.
Des gens qui ont des têtes avec cette forme-là.
So this is the sides of the
Ça
head.
n'a aucun sens.
Peanut-shaped, round ones, oval ones, there's something for everyone.
Okay, so this is the head of General de Gaulle. Nice. And how do you shape the head? I mean...
I'll show you. You take a seat here for me, please.
This strange instrument is a conformator.
I really feel that I'm getting to get tortured.
A very old machine that determines the shape of the top of the skull.
Do I have a peanut head?
You have got a peanut head.
Really?
Yeah.
Donc ça, c'est la forme de ma tête, qui est donc une forme de cacahuète. Un chapeau melon anglais, très inconfortable pour une tête de cacahuète.
For a bowler hat, it'd have to be custom-made, but the good news is that most hats in the women's department are suitable for all shapes. And it's true that you can find everything. There are fascinators, veils, and huge spring hats.
I feel like I'm a Christmas present.
Oh no!
Surprise!
And the legendary British trilby.
Je suis légèrement plus sceptique là-dessus.
I'm not yet ready for this English-style makeover, especially as the prices here range from 200 to over 7,000 euros. But I decide to go to the famous Royal Ascot horse race anyway. Just 1 hour by train from Windsor Castle, this is the annual meeting place for the royal family and all London's socialites.
Le code vestimentaire est très clair. Les hommes doivent avoir une tenue de cérémonie avec un chapeau de forme, évidemment des chaussures fermées. Et les femmes doivent toutes avoir des robes longues qui couvrent leurs épaules, qui arrivent en dessous des genoux. Et évidemment, un chapeau. You have a wonderful hat.
Thank you very much.
This hat is amazing.
A little further on, 300 metres from the main entrance, following the coolers, we discover the entrance to the Holy of Holies. Car park number 1. A car park, but above all, a luxury campsite. Every year, parking spaces are transformed into open-air restaurants.
Tu vas faim?
Ah bah oui, je veux bien goûter.
So this is salt cod fritter, cuisine, Scotch bonnet.
Ça pique.
While the chauffeurs guard the cars, caterers and butlers take care of everything.
We want people to come around like, wow, what is this? You know, just impress people.
Oh yeah, they want the other.
That's exactly what English tradition is all about, mixing the glamorous with the rustic. But picnicking in a couture dress and top hat is reserved for a select few. In this car park, you inherit your place at birth. Otherwise, the waiting list is estimated at 30 years.
Dead man's shoes.
What is dead man's shoes?
You have to wait for someone to die before you get a parking space.
So if I want a spot, I have to wait for you to die?
Well, yeah, probably.
In this car park, everyone has received an invitation from the King to attend the race in the royal enclosure.
Well, you've got to be out here. I mean, where else can you have lunch in a car park, you know?
And everyone has their own story about Charles III.
He doesn't like me.
The King doesn't like you?
Hates me, yeah.
Why?
Well, I tried to sell him a horse, and it was called Omani or something, this horse, and it bucked him off and tried to kick him on the way down. And he thought it was like having an Irish assassination attempt, so he don't like me.
This man is Sir Benjamin Slade, a very famous man in London.
Il est très intéressant. Il est le célibataire le plus cherché de toute l'Angleterre.
Oh!
Parce qu'il est richissime. Oui, il est richissime. Il a un titre. Et
Suddenly, the interview turns into a job interview.
All the women are...
What star sign are you?
October 13.
Scorpio. Like Libra?
Yes.
Libra's okay.
Yes.
What height are you?
Come on.
170, 169?
Must be more than 5'7". Which you're okay.
I don't know now. I'm okay?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I can...
No, you're about right. I need to have tall sons. Good
Okay.
warriors, you know.
Okay.
I want 2 sons.
C'est
Get me 2 sons in a hurry.
Okay.
Desperado.
Benjamin Slade has publicly offered a lifetime fee of £50,000 a year for any woman willing to produce 2 heirs for him. But we do not quite fit in with this incredible mix of dandies and aristocrats.
UK's foremost etiquette expert.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a lot to learn with you.
No, you're doing okay. You're just showing too much leg.
Yeah, okay.
But here, you can actually buy tickets to go into the grandstand, which, you know, they're not strict on the dress code.
So to find out what a horse race is like, we enter from the other side, through the entrance for the poor. Here, the ticket costs 60 euros and, in theory, there is no dress code.
La particularité, c'est que même s'il n'y a pas de code vestimentaire, Absolument. Tout le monde s'est mis sur son 31. Toutes les femmes ont des robes incroyables, des chapeaux, tous les hommes sont en costume.
Horse racing is by no means reserved to wealthy aristocrats. Once again this year, 300,000 people have snapped up tickets to get out their best looks, and there's something for everyone. The British love these open-air traditions, picnics, fun, and above all, betting on their favourite horse.
Can you give me advice?
Oh, let's have a look, shall we?
Am I on camera?
I went 13, Port Fortuna. You go each way.
Porta Fortuna?
Each way. And then you put
Okay.
each way. So then
Each way?
if it
What does it mean?
places, you still win.
So you're advising Porta Fortuna?
Yeah, that's what I say.
You know what you're talking
Don't take
about?
my advice, follow him. I don't know what I'm doing.
Random one.
I'm just pick the one I like. Just go with what he's going
Oh, when's
for.
your birthday?
13th of October.
13. Oh, it's Port Fortuna.
Porta Fortuna.
Baby,
Okay, I got
You've got to go for that one.
Okay, okay, let's go for that. Okay, thank you guys.
Go each way, so say each way.
Okay, each way.
How much you spending, my love? £10?
£10 is perfect. Porta Fortuna. Numéro 13, ça porte bonheur.
Once you've placed your bet on a horse, long before the races start, everyone gathers by the railings. Because horses aren't the only attraction. Royal Ascot is also a chance to see the royal family, and here everyone has their own opinion.
We got the king. And Camilla. Do you like Camilla? No. Okay. J'aime pas Camilla. Okay.
But when the carriage arrives,
Woo!
everyone starts singing. Once the king has passed, the races can begin. A first warm-up lap. I spot my horse, number 13.
What are you going to do with the money if you win?
Yes, go to the pub.
Yes,
In
definitely.
true British fashion, that's
Makes
what we do.
sense.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
And when the race starts,
Je suis première là. Je suis en train de gagner.
an adrenaline rush for everyone. My horse wins.
I'm going to claim my money.
I'm going straight to my bookmaker.
C'est improbable quand même. Première fois, j'ai gagné.
There are hundreds of betting stands. London is also the capital of betting, and the world's biggest bookmakers are here, and are even quoted on the stock exchange.
1 minute, 3.97 seconds.
43, yeah?
Yeah.
For every £10 I bet, I get 43 back. But I'm going to stop here because gambling is very addictive and dangerous. This is not the only addictive form of entertainment here. At Royal Ascot, they start serving alcohol at 10:30 a.m. So for many, it's a long day, for both the public and the King's guests.
An hour and a half away from here.
Oh, but he's not
North,
driving.
north of London. No, me. I'm
You are driving?
I'm driving. Every year with him, but last
With
year...
him every year?
Last year he was okay.
Okay.
In car park 1, the night has begun for some people. It's time for our human tide of hats and suits to return to London. And to rediscover all the symbols that make up the city. The red buses, the pretty brick houses, and the beautiful cars make you forget any hangover. Cycling is still the best way to get around.
Attention, on roule à gauche.
One of the symbols of London is the number of workers in impeccable suits heading for the city every morning. London remains one of the world's most powerful financial centres. It's also the richest city in Europe, and tourists flock to see the magnificent, expensive houses. In Regent Park, right in the centre of London, there are houses for sale for £250 million. But here everything is very secure. It's impossible to get close to these exceptional properties.
Il y a des maisons incroyables. On dit qu'il y a la maison la plus chère du monde au cœur de Regent Park. Et on a trouvé un moyen de rentrer dans l'une des maisons les plus chères de Londres. On va aller juste là-bas.
Our key is Daniel Daggers.
Hi everyone, I'm Daniel Daggers, aka Mr. Super Prime.
At 42, this star agent is considered the biggest estate agent in the world, with $4 billion worth of property sold. Daniel is a man in a hurry.
Hi.
Leticia, how are you? Thank you for coming fashionably late.
Sorry.
Don't worry. Come and see this beautiful home.
But he's given us permission to visit one of his current properties.
Welcome. I'm going to show you some British excellence.
Waouh. Là, il y a du volume.
A traditional English house that costs £12.5 million, or £26,691 per square metre.
Don't get too comfortable though.
I have to test it. Come on, it's... I won't be in the house 13 million every day, so...
The owners left everything as it was, and they had their little whims. 2 bathrooms per bedroom. And 2 showers per bathroom.
It's for 2 people.
That's amazing. I mean, I would pay just for that. It's a very good idea.
But for Daniel's clientele, this house has one particular strength.
All the land here is private, which means if you're famous, no paparazzi can be here, so you have additional security.
High-priced houses are Daniel Daggers' daily business, and in London he has no shortage of clients.
Tom Ford, the designer, used to live down here, and some of these homes have sold for over 100 million.
But who can buy houses like that?
Well, you have the wealthiest.
You have so many houses that are over 100 million. I mean,
a big percentage of people who are phenomenally successful, they want to have a base in London, and they want their kids to understand European culture, and so they'll have a base in London, and then they'll bounce around Europe. They'll go to Apulia, and then they'll go to the south of France and Paris, and they go to Berlin.
Dubai, New York, Tel Aviv. Many of Daniel's clients don't live in London all year round. But among these wealthy foreign owners, some pose a problem. Leaving Daniel, we set off in search of houses that have made the headlines.
Les Londoniens, ils ont un vrai problème sur la pression immobilière parce que c'est des étrangers qui achètent leur maison.
The problem is that these foreigners were not previously required to provide their identity. By using shell companies, major criminals can hide and launder their money in London by investing in property.
Là, juste ici, il y a la maison il y a une maison qui appartient, c'est pas sa maison, il habite pas là, mais une maison qui appartient au président de l'Azerbaïdjan.
The family of the president of Azerbaijan has ruled the country unchallenged for over 30 years. A dictator who owns this £40 million house. Even when the family isn't there, the security team is on deck. In less than 20 seconds, a security guard arrives.
Can we film a little bit here? No? On va y aller. Mais t'as pu filmer la maison. Est-ce que ça vaut 40 millions de livres, ça?
Dozens of houses worth nearly £2 billion belong to major Russian oligarchs under international sanctions.
Donc tu vois, là, c'est l'appartement avec la terrasse. C'est ici que Polina Kovaleva vivait. C'est quand même la fille du ministre des Affaires étrangères russe. Parce que du coup, elle a dû laisser son appartement. Parce qu'en fait, quand même, les habitants de Kensington, ils l'ont épinglée.
Before being discovered by British journalists, the flat enabled Sergei Lavrov to hide more than £4 million in London. Not far from the very chic Regent Park, there are more popular places, like Hyde Park, the largest park in central London, 140 hectares in the middle of the city, 5 times bigger than the largest park in Paris. In London, green spaces are everywhere, and so are animals. But on Sunday afternoon in the northeast of the park, the squirrels put on a show.
Il y a quelqu'un qui crie là-bas?
As we get closer, we find ourselves caught up in a political and religious whirlwind.
Did I interrupt you guys? Did I interrupt you? Which country's controlling Israel?
Je crois que c'est un endroit où les gens viennent se disputer.
To argue and, above all, to debate. We are at the famous Speaker's Corner.
You are Ukrainian, you are Ukrainian. I said, what you doing here? You should be there because your country is asking us to go and join them.
No, they're not.
They did.
No, they didn't. They never did that.
A place to speak freely.
You are a coward. You are a coward.
And all subjects are covered.
It does not mean that women cannot have careers. It simply means that we are different.
Politics, feminism and religious preachers.
The spirit of God which is uncreated is inside us.
I am Messiah. I am Messiah. I will prepare new world for Jesus. Me and Jesus will work together to rule the world.
This place is the symbol of freedom of expression in England. It was here that death row inmates delivered their last words, often real political speeches. In 1872, the defenders of liberal democracy succeeded in making it a place where you could legally say anything. Defending Hitler during the Second World War was only possible here. The Speaker's Corner has also seen the parade of communists, the Methodist Church, and all forms of religious obscurantism. But freedom of expression isn't just reserved for the Speaker's Corner. It's everywhere in England, and especially in music. We're heading to Brixton, a popular area that's being gentrified.
En fait, Brixton, historiquement, c'est un quartier hyper populaire. Et toute la musique contestataire londonienne, elle naissait ici. Donc ils ont eu les punks pendant des années. C'est ici qu'il y avait les Clash. Il y a cette chanson des Guns of Brixton, avec la petite influence jamaïcaine, parce qu'il y a beaucoup de Jamaïcains dans le quartier depuis toujours. Et là, maintenant, la nouvelle musique contestataire, c'est la drill. C'est un rap qui va dénoncer les violences policières, les discriminations. C'est plus le punk, c'est plus David Bowie, c'est le rap.
Welcome to Brixton, I'm in the party with Barbies and drillers. The kickback mad on the spinner, I see enough man just run from my...
UK drill is a very aggressive form of rap that emerged in Brixton in 2012 and requires a very special accessory, a balaclava.
From the woody. Saru gangster, niggas know me, man leave two in your hoodie. My youngsters are nutters, stay with a cutter, chef up you and your mother.
C'est à ça qu'on reconnaît la drill dans les clips de rap. Ils cachent leur tête. Parce que maintenant, ça peut être utilisé contre eux dans les procès. Tu vois, quand tu veux faire du rap à Londres, tu me reconnais là ou pas?
It's called no face, no case. Without an identifiable face, you can't go to court because some singers are also criminals. To understand this new street rap, you have to go to the block of flats. Like every night, the N9 gang is hanging around. In 10 years, the budgets allocated to the youths have been halved. No more community centres, no more specialised educators, nothing left to do.
Oh boy. Slowly turned to like a ghost town, you know.
So you have nowhere to go besides just hanging out here?
Yeah, you just come here to chill, literally. So you'll find a lot of people here is angry. They're angry, they're waking up angry. Come outside angry. But it's fairly safe for anyone that's grown up here. It's safe for you, yeah.
Okay, so not for me.
Of course it's safe for you. Yeah, because you come with good intentions, it's okay.
Violence is the trademark of this music.
Can you tell me more about the mask? Hey, why do you have a mask?
I don't know, you know.
Hey, you don't know. Of course you know. You can tell me about it.
Not everyone always wants to be seen all the time, you know.
One of the boys was convicted of stabbing a man to death, but according to them, violence is inevitable here.
And, you know, the problem could be bigger than you. It could have been before you even come around, and now you have to take on the problem. On. You don't have to, but it comes to you, you know? Yeah, it's everywhere, apart from, like, central London, where in London Eye is and Big Ben.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, east, north, west, south, around is postcode problem everywhere. It's just a part of London now, growing up.
Fortunately, growing up in Brixton isn't always synonymous with violence. Since the 1950s, the Afro-Caribbean community living there has created a unique music scene, not only the drill. London is home to 350,000 West Indians, the equivalent of the population of Nice.
La couronne britannique, elle a quand même régné sur un quart de la population mondiale. Et parmi les gens qui ont fait partie de l'Empire britannique, il y a notamment la Jamaïque, mais il y a presque toutes les îles caribéennes.
English citizens from the other side of the Atlantic who came by boat to settle in London 2 generations ago.
I recognise quite a lot, but not all of them are Caribbean flags.
Yes, all of them are.
Oh, not all of them are.
Not all of them?
No.
It's not easy to find your way around the flags because there are around 50 islands that are part of the British West Indies. Sometimes called Little Jamaica, Brixton has become one of London's symbols of multiculturalism. 270 nationalities, 300 languages spoken. In the streets of the capital, customs from other parts of the world are on full display. And Muslim women can legally wear a full veil, including to school. In fact, in the centre of the city, the Great Trafalgar Square is not at all reserved for national or Christian holidays. All religious festivals are celebrated. That's how we found ourselves in the middle of 25,000 people who had come to celebrate Eid, the end of Ramadan. As every year, Mayor Sadiq Khan takes the floor.
We have a king who is Christian. Whatever you think about our Prime Minister, we have a Prime Minister who is Hindu, and alhamdulillah. We have a Mayor of London who is a Muslim, showing our diversity.
C'est un peu comme si on célébrait la fin du Ramadan sur les Champs-Élysées avec tous les musulmans de France.
There's everything from traditional music and characters for Muslim children to awards for Muslim personalities of the year. Muslims are not alone in their celebrations. Some even wear ostentatious signs of other religions.
Have you noticed how many different type of foods there are? Like Mr. Bombay. Oh my God, Uzbek? What is Uzbek food like?
Donc, tu vois, il n'y a pas du tout que des musulmans là. On va leur parler. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
That day, Trafalgar Square became a real platform for cultural pluralism.
Now look at us. We are not even Muslims. We don't even celebrate Eid. We don't keep Ramadan, and yet we are here today because it's celebration.
Well, since we arrived, as a French person, I was like, okay, this is a good way to tell people, don't be afraid.
Absolutely.
You show all the, very traditional stuff.
Yeah, go.
In the center of the city.
Go and eat somebody else's food. Talk to somebody else in another language. Experience somebody else's cuisine. And, the whole world will become one. Just down this road is what used to be called the India office, which is now the Foreign and Commonwealth Office.
For 300 years, colonised India was regarded as the jewel in the crown of the British Empire. Today, Indians form the largest foreign community here.
Come with us.
On part en Inde.
In London, there are more Indian restaurants than in Bombay and Delhi put together. There are even almost 200 Hindu temples. This one, hidden behind a small door, is just a stone's throw from Trafalgar Square. Poonam is very religious.
You guys do the pranam? Go and do it.
And her children had better follow.
Hinduism, it's a way of life. You do the right thing. That is, speak the truth, be wise, do good without expecting anything back. Just do your karma, do good. Okay, let me show you. Krishna, Krishna, Hare.
This is one of the major differences between us and our English neighbours. Far from French-style assimilation, Londoners encourage communitarianism. A few hours later, in this typically British residential area,
At least come and say hi.
here we are with my new Indian friends. Behind the English bricks, Poonam continues to cultivate her roots. Every evening she says her prayers with her sons, whom we know as well as her oldest daughter and her eldest son. The whole family seems attached to Indian traditions, but not everyone is happy to see exotic rituals openly displayed.
As diverse as London is, it will be wrong to say that everything is hunky-dory.
Did you have to face racism yourself?
A few years back, somebody physically assaulted me in my back alleyway, and one of my kids got hurt as well. And these were two white people asking me to go back to my country.
So communitarianism is not a cure-all. Besides, Poonam has never managed to feel fully English.
I've lived in this country for 20 years. I didn't take the citizenship of this country. I still have my Indian passport. And I never will give up my citizenship because in my heart, I'm still Indian.
How can you do without communitarianism when you have such a history? Tea, curry and gin imported from India are all part of English culture. But the English culture is also the passion for football. You only have to take the tube on match day to realise that.
Il y a un match dans 1 heure et résultat, toutes les stations de métro autour sont bloquées. Ça a l'air très normal pour tout le monde.
So I decide to follow the slightly oppressive crowd.
Il faut que tu viennes avec moi.
To discover this other London tradition.
Je pense que l'expérience commence ici, tu veux.
Stand clear of the doors, please.
Are you going to the football game? Everyone is. No? Okay.
You can't think of London without thinking of football. It's the city with the most professional clubs in the world, 13 in total. That's a lot of big stadiums and a lot of neighbourhoods defending their teams at every match.
The stadium will be coming up soon.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Like every week, more than 60,000 people arrive from all over to fill the Hotspur, the Tottenham neighbourhood team's brand new stadium. But right next to the stadium, there's another, more intimate place that some people prefer. The pub.
There's more atmosphere.
Stadium.
It's authentic here.
Voilà, c'est beaucoup mieux que stade ici.
Guaranteed atmosphere with real fans from the beginning. At the same time, that's all there is in London because being obsessed with football is the rule. Andrew, 32, is a supporter who speaks French.
Ici, le foot, c'est une culture. En fait, il y a rien de plus important que le foot.
The young man tells me that being a supporter isn't about where you live. It's about not liking other clubs.
Comment on choisit son équipe alors?
Bah alors, ça c'est une très bonne question. Moi je suis fan de Tottenham depuis que je suis tout petit. J'ai pas aimé les fans d'Arsenal de mon école. Et du coup, moi j'ai choisi le Tottenham. Il y a beaucoup de fans qui s'organisent pour se battre ensemble. Franchement, c'est...
I said 2-2, remember? Come on, you spoil. Come on.
Tonight's match was a draw and the mood was gloomy. Tottenham can't salvage a bad season. They finished 8th and won't be playing in the European Cup next season. There's no way I'm spending our last night in London with depressed supporters. Luckily, to save my evening, I've got a chaperone on hand.
Are you Grace's friend?
Grace, the 19-year-old fashion student, and her friends.
Yeah, Grace is like 10 minutes late, so...
It's 11 p.m. No one's ready to go out yet, but the outfits already look like it's going to be a great evening.
You all did your outfit alone?
Parts of it. This is a dress. It's my grandma's from the 50s.
I'm so sorry. You are always late.
London has always been the capital of eccentricity. With Grace and her friends, the next generation of eccentricity is guaranteed.
Growing up here, you can definitely tell a difference between like us and the international students in terms of like who is like more creatively free.
Within a few months, like it was like a breath of fresh air for them. They were just the way that their style changed, everything was like so instant. They were like, oh my god, I can actually just experiment, like be myself now, you know.
The city has even become a refuge for thousands of queer personalities like Ivy, who moved from the English countryside 2 years ago.
I was very much like quieter, sadder, and I think, but as soon as I moved to London and met like Jace and Meeks and everyone like this, it was like, wow. And now I'm like loud and annoying, so I can't shut up.
Yeah.
It's funny going back. London is so much more, for people like us, I feel like we find our own community.
Like we're a bit of a spectacle.
Yeah.
And tonight, I have the right to be part of the show. But before I accompany this fabulous bunch to the party, there's a little makeover to be done.
What animal do you feel like you are?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's a good one.
Spirit animal.
I won't have an animal like Jace May's snail or Dominic's pigs. Grace has carte blanche to do my makeup.
What I'm more inclined towards is like a slightly more modern, twiggy eye line.
Okay, so like a graphic line.
Yeah.
It's midnight. The group is just starting to get ready. And I get to grips with my psychedelic witch makeup.
We could be like distant cousins.
I feel like a really little soldier of Grace.
Tonight, my friends have chosen a little club in Hackney in northeast London.
I love it. Last night in London.
We're gonna make it a good night.
Yes, we'll make it the best night.
What better way to end a stay in London, surrounded by fashion victims and music fans? Dominic's reveals all her dancing talents. A new free generation is coming. After psychedelia, punk, techno and rock, London still has the same artistic madness. It's the jewel in the crown of a traditional monarchy, full of contradictions, and every night it takes pleasure in shaking off all convention.